Jackson rolling through the SWAT. Reppin' for the city, hear him in the parking lot. Houston written across the jersey, ain't gon' never stop. Just fans got me tuning in, waiting for the drop. Astros, Texas, Rockets, Dynamo, they coming with it. When they pull up, got the city sitting on a fitted. Straight up A-Leaf, hold it down, ain't gon' never quit it. Just fans got me tuning in, let my dogs get it. Southwest A-Leaf, Texas, throw down here and it's so infectious. We ride for the Houston Astros, Rockets, Dynamo, and them Texans.
What's up, everybody? It's Carlos, your host of the Just Fans podcast, and we got our episode 10 of a Royal Rumble recap, and we got the one and only Mitch Kofsky from the Hardcore Sports Network on. How's it going, Mitch?
Hey, it's going good. It's going good. I was not happy with the outcome of the men's Rumble. We're going to get into that, but yeah, I'm doing good.
All right. That's what's up, man. And of course, we got the one, the only, the man that comes with its own disclaimer, the man, Nick Bodkins. What's up, bud?
Hey, what's good? What's good, you guys? It's been a while. It's been a minute. Glad to have you on, man. I thought y'all didn't like me anymore. I thought there was like some beef or I didn't know about or some shit.
Talking about, we're in the same chat group.
Oh yeah,
every day.
We're chatting every day. And of course, we got the one and only Rios making his second appearance on episode 10 of Wrestling Talk Live, man. How's it going, Rios?
Whose idea was about the disclaimer at the beginning?
So it started off as a joke. What I did when I was doing the shows in Argentina, we had Nick Bodkins on, I think, for one of the wrestling ones, if I'm not mistaken. And then I was like, you know what, it'd be funny if I just put like a disclaimer on Nick Bodkins. And then for some reason, that particular day, he was like PG Nick Bodkins. He had gone from like Attitude Era Bodkins to like PG or whatever. I'm
PG
like,
Punk, baby. PG Punk.
PG Punk. Out of nowhere. So I'm like, wow. So here's hoping that we have a repeat, see what happens.
No, we're not.
We're going to get so canceled immediately. Hey, boys.
No more canceled than Vince McMahon, baby.
Can't get worse.
Who?
Can't get worse than that.
I'm looking at the WWE records. I don't see anybody by that name.
It doesn't exist. Doesn't exist.
I don't know who that is.
Brock Lesnar too. We don't know who Brock Lesnar is either.
Who?
Yeah.
Never heard of him
at UFC. I don't see him at anywhere else.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him.
Thank God
Hey,
we
guys,
were about to get him versus Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, I saw that.
Thank
Mitch
God
loves
we didn't.
brownies. Is that weird? Is that a thing I don't know about?
I have these one-bite brownies that I eat.
Oh.
So it's just like I eat them during the streams.
I was about to say, I'm wearing an LWO shirt, and then his last name is Rios. I'm like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, that's my supporter, man. Sneeps, great guy.
How's it going? All right, man. So let's talk some Royal Rumble. Honestly, I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. It's so the way, I'm not going to talk all the way about the end first, but the way that it ended, just the highlight of seeing CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, it's like, dude, AEW could have had this. They fumbled the bag big time.
Right.
This could have been like one of their major things, and because there's really no quality control, I guess, if you will, there's nobody really being a boss. You don't have that, and then you literally got CM Punk out of retirement, paid him, and then let him walk to the other company. And with Cody Rhodes, you could, once you started hearing the crowd boo, like the storylines or whatever, he knew it was time to go. So you completely fumbled the bag with these guys, and now they're in a new organization making all this money for this company. Granted, CM Punk did just get hurt, though, but still, people tune in for CM Punk. The man might not have it in the wrestling anymore, but the man has mic skills, and at the end of the day, isn't that that matters most, in my opinion. Boys, what do you guys think? Mitch, what do you think of that so far? AEW.
I mean, yeah, yeah, but it was cool seeing those guys in the ring again. I mean, it's just like 10, 15 years ago. We're living in the past right now. But it was cool to see them. Raw Man won it. I'm going to say that again. Cody Rhodes did not deserve to win that.
Ooh.
But, do you want me
Well, thank God he did, Mitch, because we'd be stuck with who the hell should main event WrestleMania, because CM Punk he was in one match and gets hurt like always. So
for me, I wanted Gunther. I want
Okay.
Gunther in that spot.
Yeah.
Like, give me
Gunther-
Gunther against Seth Rollins. Now we're not going to get that. I don't even know what we're getting now, honestly. So,
Yeah, it'll be interesting what they do.
Yeah. What about you, Nick? What do you think of that? What do you make of that? The whole AEW fumbling the ball.
So I mean, they weren't in AEW together. So by the time Punk got to AEW, Rhodes had already already gone. Rhodes and AEW it didn't work out because he boxed himself in. Like when he did the whole "I'll never challenge for the AEW title ever again." I mean, this is wrestling. We know that shit's all like fugazi. But he boxed himself in. He just didn't for whatever reason. I don't know. It's because like AEW fans didn't see him as one of theirs. You know what I mean? Because he had been in WWE, but he helped start this he started the damn organization, right? And he was doing a lot of stuff, even like in the back. He was doing stuff on the him and his wife had their own TV show, much like it was like the Miz and Maurice type shit, and Punk, for whatever reason, I think Punk did not work in AEW because I truly do believe that there is no head honcho. There is no guy locker room leader. Like all those guys are young. They are, started this program outside of Chris Jericho, and they are trying to figure out their way. In WWE, there's one voice, right? At one time it was Vincent Kennedy McMahon, and now that one voice is Triple H. He's the guy that everybody looks forward to. What he says goes, and the creative and things like that. So I think that fits Punk because he doesn't want to play these kid games in the backdoor politics and things like that. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because, that's why he left WWE and now he's back. And it's because he just doesn't want to deal with the stuff. And unfortunately he did get hurt. I don't want to think that I think we all kind of knew as far as like the Rumble itself, the last 4 or 5 guys, were believable. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I liked. It was Drew, it was Sammy, the Punk and Rhodes. There might have been one more in there. Gunther I think. Yeah. So like those you're like all of one of these guys could headline WrestleMania. It would be okay, whether it's Rollins or Reigns, whoever it was going to be, whoever they decided. So I was okay because it was believable. And then we got the two where it was really like, if you look at the betting odds, those were the two guys. Like everybody was like, well, Rhodes or Punk's going to win this thing. Yeah. And Cody Rhodes, is going to try to go finish the story.
Yeah. Rios, do you have any comment on that? I know you saw the last part of it. Like, what do you think of that? Like AEW kind of.
Bit? As far as them fumbling the bag, I mean, apple doesn't fall far from the tree. This is Khan's father fumbles with the Jaguars all the time, so not surprising. Not surprising at all.
Yeah.
He was feared for his life, Rios. He was feared for his life.
But it's the safest work environment in the world. But he fears for his life.
Yes,
very fearful of his life. But like I remember a few years ago, Carlson was really hyping up AEW, and I tried to tune in for a little, but I just never really caught my interest. And then now when he talks about it, it's like indifferent about it.
It's got its ups and downs to me. There's a few guys that I really like, and their pay-per-views, like the wrestling in their pay-per-views are phenomenal. Yeah. Like if they're like top notch. Every one of their pay-per-views. Forbidden Door 2 was great. Yeah. There was another one that they had. Not the last one. The last one was probably maybe their worst pay-per-view in their company's history. Yeah. But there was another one they had this past summer, which I was like, man, these two cards were like really good. But it's like everything in between there, their storyline, and I'm a big storyline guy, so like that's why I lean more towards the WWE. I love the storylines where their storylines just aren't great, and their roster is just like one guy's here, next guy you don't see him for a while, and they mix it. It's like too much. They don't have continuous storylines, but as far as the wrestling in the ring is really great, especially the pay-per-views.
Yeah. One guy in particular that comes to mind that we saw at the Royal Rumble, Andrade. I would just like to say that. Yep. Like when he went to AEW, I was like, okay, he's got there may be something there for him. And then, like you said, Nick, like you saw him maybe for like a little while, and then he was just gone for a while.
Rusev, same thing, right? It's like they forget about it.
Yeah. And it's like you got these. It almost seemed like you hired these guys out of pettiness, right? And then you just couldn't find anything to do with these guys. And so,
like, you got all these toys. What do I do with them?
Yeah,
it really is Tony Khan's toys. It really is. It's almost like you got all these wrestling, toy, real life toys, whatever that he got. But then I don't think he knows, or there was nobody that really knew what to do with them. So. You see a lot of these guys like
we'll just throw them in a faction somewhere and then go away.
Exactly. Throw them in a faction and then there you go. And so then there's a really legitimate plan. And Nick, like you said, I'm a fan of storylines as well. And there's really the last really really decent storyline that I wanted to follow from AEW was the Devils one, the one with And then when
they had a hook, line, and sinker. Yeah,
and it's like I don't know. It was to me. It was going for a while. I was liking it, and then once it was revealed, I was like, it was a little anticlimactic for me. Even though
it was who we thought it was, like the you know what I mean. But I thought it dragged on a little bit too longish, and if it wasn't, and at that point in time though, like if it really wasn't MJF, like this past summer, or I guess this past fall, like if it wasn't MJF, I really wasn't really intrigued by anything AEW was doing.
Yeah. No, agreed. Mitch, what do you think about
that? With Andrade, man, he's such a great talent. Like, I just hope WWE does something great with him this year. I think he's going to be an Elimination Chamber, so there's that. But AEW keep on fumbling the bag. Every chance they get, they keep on fumbling it. CM Punk, I don't want to go on and on, but it's sad. Tony Khan is more of a fan than an actual boss.
Yeah.
So once you see the fan, he's gonna want like all these guys. He wants Sting. He wants Rob Van Dam. Right now today we had Jeff Hardy versus Moxley. We had Jeff Hardy versus Moxley today. So just like he just wants all these guys, and just watch, it's not gonna work. Give it a couple months.
Yeah, I've been seeing some of the cards that come out, dude, and like none of them are seem intriguing to me. Like, oh, damn, I want to watch this match. I don't see it. And then, like, have you guys seen any much of like Will Ospreay? Like, I know he got signed, and then have we seen much of him?
From what I've read and what he even said, he's got to finish up NJPW first, and I think he's got some stuff in TNA that he's got to finish up before he comes over. But yeah, that's another guy. I think Will Ospreay. That match, him and Kenny Omega, the second one there, I think that was at Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
That was, to me, match of the year. I mean, that match was incredible.
Yeah. So, I mean, those type of matches I really do enjoy. They have some quality matches, and they have some matches that are like, wow, what were we thinking here, fellas? Some of the match cards that I look at it, like, don't get me wrong, like, y'all know my boy, like, when I talk to him, like, a lot of like, whenever he goes into, like, these match cards, I'm over here thinking, hey, this is not going to be a win, and like, and so I'm like, this is not going to be a win. And it's just kind of like, oh man. But maybe he enjoys it. I don't know, whatever. But you're happy at a place, whatever. But when I see some of the match cards, I'm like, I just don't see it. Raphael says, hello, what's up, Raphael Chassin? And salute to the panel. What's up, buddy? Good seeing you, buddy.
Rafucho!
Yeah.
You guys forgot a name. You guys forgot a name from AEW to WWE. Jade Cargill.
I mean, that was a perfect.
That was perfect.
It was. They laid that out perfect. They teased her and Bianca. She seemed like a huge star. I mean, she was already over. Her music came out and she popped. So the whole world already knew who she was, and she came out and just eliminated. I thought the women's the women's rumble was better than the men's. Like just the flow of everything and how it happened.
100%. Let me, before we get to the women's, let's talk about the other matches really quick, and then we'll head up to the Rumble. Okay, so let's talk about the Logan Paul Kevin Owens match. So honestly, I like, even though Logan Paul's like a piece of shit, like I like him wrestling. Like the fact that he makes you hate him, that just means that he's doing his job. You know what I mean? And as far as the in-ring performer, like, dude, for a guy that hasn't been doing it as long as some of these guys that are actually wrestling, his in-ring performance skills are just legit. Like, I was like, dude, you could, like, it feels like this guy would have been doing it for years. he can wrestle. He can flat out wrestle. Obviously, he has the charisma and the personality for it. Like I like seeing Logan Paul, even though he's a piece of shit, but I still like him. The match with Kevin Owens, I liked it too. I thought it was a pretty decent one. If I were to give it a grade, I'd say it'd be a A-, if anything. I really did like that match. I enjoyed it. It had some spots in there, but not too many. I really did enjoy it. It was entertaining to follow. Yes, Logan retained it, but I liked that. It was funny because the way that it ended with the referee suddenly seeing, we're always accustomed to the wrestling referee being blind as a bat, but then suddenly he actually sees the brass knucks in Kevin Owens. I thought that was a pretty funny ending or entertaining ending to say the least, but I'd say an A- for me if I'm going to grade it. Mitch, what do you think, bud? What do you think of that match?
Did you guys know that Kevin Owens wrestled with the injured foot? He was wrestling with the injured foot during this match.
No, I did not.
It's just like that guy can go, that guy can wrestle. He's been doing this all his life, so props to Kevin Owens there. And just Logan Paul, man, he's not the best at selling. Hopefully we can agree on that. He's not the best at selling, but he can talk his shit during the match. You see him talking to the commentators when he's on the turnbuckle. I mean, not a lot of wrestlers do this nowadays, which is sad. It's just him and Roman Reigns pretty much. So I just have to give credit there, and his athleticism is amazing. So much better than a boxer. Like, don't even get me started on that. But, yeah, very good match. I liked it. Logan Paul's probably going to lose his title to LA Knight at Mania. So there's that. For my grade, I'll give it an A- as well.
All right, Nick, what's your take on that one, bud?
Yeah, I think they'll run that back probably at the Elimination Chamber, right? Because of the in Logan Paul going to Australia, that'll get a huge crowd there as well. And Logan, you guys are right. Like Logan can go in the ring, like he's athletic as all get out. We already knew he could talk. Like he's got his own, that's why he's famous, right? Because he's an actor, he can talk. I'm kind of with Mitch on the fact that he doesn't sell the greatest, like. It's not as long selling. Dusty Rhodes used to said sell, then sell some more. And then when you think about stop selling, sell some more. So, somebody needs to teach him the old Dusty Rhodes, treatment of selling. But that'll come with time. I mean, this kid's only he has had less than 10 matches. You know what I mean? So he's been pretty good every time out he's performed, and KO's a great dance. He's also dancing with the best of the best, Roman Reigns, The Miz, and now Kevin Owens. So he's dancing, Rey Mysterio. So he's dancing with some of the best in the business. True. Yeah, Seth Rollins. So he's dancing with some of the best guys that are going to take care of him. But he's also taking care of other people. I mean, he stopped Rey Mysterio from dang near breaking his neck. So, so I do think they'll run that back at the Elimination Chamber. I don't know. It'll be interesting if they do the LA Knight, because it'll be, I know we'll talk about it here in a little bit. What they do with LA Knight will be interesting. But you could see Kevin Owens and Paul at Mania, and maybe you do a 3-way with LA Knight or 2 or something like that, because I'd like to see them bring back a ladder match at Mania. We haven't had a good one. Remember, there for a while, it's like Intercontinental title, U.S. title, or even the tag title was always a ladder match there for a while. And then even they had Money in the Bank when it first started. So I'd like to see them bring it back. It just gives more wrestlers a chance to get on the card in a high profile match. So I would like to see them do that. But I thought the Paul KO fight, I give it an A, man. It was better than probably the title fight.
Yeah, honestly, I'm inclined to agree with that one, man. I agree 100%. That was a pretty good, interesting match. I agree, Bodkins. Rios, did you catch that by any chance?
Yeah, I caught some. So it's my first time actually seeing him wrestle, but I can kind of tell a little bit the inexperience. I had a little bit of trouble selling some stuff, but I mean, like you guys said, it's his 10th match. I mean, they're pretty solid considering that much, and he's a great athlete, and he has a mouthpiece. That's basically half the battle. That was Roman Reigns' biggest problem. He didn't have the mouthpiece. And Paul does, so it helps out a lot. And selling, that'll come with more matches, more experience. But it was a pretty good fight. I enjoyed it. I agree with you guys. I give it an A. It was a pretty entertaining fight.
Yeah, definitely. That's the thing. As long as you're entertained, I mean, they're doing their job, really. So honestly, I was a big fan of the match. Probably again, one of the best matches that I've seen that night, and so I was a big proponent of it. So yeah, Logan Paul. I think we all kind of gave it. I think average is out to an A at least, right? A
Yeah.
All right, awesome. All right, next one. I'll go with the Universal, the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Roman Reigns, AJ Styles, LA Knight, Randy Orton. It seemed like obviously the big names on the card, of course. Randy Orton has just been phenomenal since he came in. I've been watching him since the Ruthless Aggression era when he came in. When he had just the tribal tattoos before he did the whole sleeve, and the blue shorts or whatever. And so that, seeing Randy Orton, since I was basically in high school to now, it's just the transformation has been incredible. And I've been a big Randy Orton fan since, because of the athleticism, the RKO spots that we've seen that have been some of the most memorable moments in a lot of WWE history, and so seeing Randy Orton back and healthy as he's been recently has been a gift to me. So AJ Styles is another guy that early in the late 2000s I used to watch this guy on TNA, and seeing him now where he's at and some of his matches in Japan and stuff like that were great with Nakamura and stuff. But now seeing him in this part, LA Knight is just a great story overall, that you're never too old to be in this part of the card. And of course, Roman Reigns, as much as I didn't like the guy because of the no charisma or whatever, heel Roman Reigns now has gotten way better than he was before. And it's entertaining to watch. This bloodline angle that they did was, I think, what he needed or whatnot, but it's just been amazing to see him. So honestly, this match kind of let me down. It was a little bit anticlimactic. Overall, match was fine, but then towards the end, I feel like it was kind of like a shitty ending on it. I was gonna say, if anything, I like how do you call it, LA Knight. First of all, did y'all notice the Jordan 11s boots that he has going on right now?
Yeah,
I'm kind of like, dude, just wear the Jordans. Like, just wear the Jordans. Wear the Jordans.
Just wear them.
Just wear them. And so, I like the match itself. The spot at the end where AJ got hit with the ropes or whatever, and that caused that led to the finisher or whatnot. I feel like, I don't know, I was a little empty-ish. Like, I feel like it needed a little more. It wasn't like enough for me as a fan, I guess. So I think that kind of let me down a bit. Like, just the ending part. Match overall was fine. It progressed. But I just I felt like I needed more in my ending or whatnot. But honestly, I would say this match, if anything, I'd give it a B-.
Yep.
Mitch, what you got?
So for me, I'm just gonna give it a B, because the right person took the fall.
Yeah.
Well, LA Knight could not take the fall. Randy Orton could not take the fall with him being back so soon. It had to be AJ Styles, which sucks. It really does. I mean, the guy's the talent, but someone had to take it. So it looks like we're gonna get AJ Styles versus Randy Orton at Elimination Chamber. It looks like, or AJ Styles versus LA Knight. One of those.
LA Knight,
yeah, one of those three. But here's something interesting. LA Knight, he was actually, when he wrestled Bray Wyatt in that lights out match, that's what sent him to stardom. It was from that match, even though how bad that was. That gave him a rocket. That gave him a rocket. And then you look at him before, he was a security guard when CM Punk was on the microphone.
Yeah.
So it's just like his story. I agree with you on that, man. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And
so I was at that dark match with Bray Wyatt at the Royal Rumble, because that was in San Antonio a year ago.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you, as much as I love Bray Wyatt, this was gotta be one of the worst matches to see in person, because you couldn't see shit. You could not see anything. And I'm always a big proponent of how much I hate the Alamo Dome, because it's just such a shitty venue.
I hate San Antonio in general.
But still, the thing is, the venue itself was just, I felt like, not a good place for the Rumble. And the match itself, I get the concept was kind of the idea must have been somebody who we can no longer names idea kind of type of match or whatever. But it was not. Live, I guess it was awful. And then it it was like sponsored by Mountain Dew.
Yeah, it was the Mountain Dew Pitch Black. So it was all that was all money grab. That's all that is. You know what I mean? Just a money grab.
And so, but the lights were out. Like I couldn't see anything. Like we couldn't see much until like they climbed up to like their spot or whatever. And that was it. But everybody near us, and we were just kind of like, what's going on over there, whatever, right? But we couldn't really see much. But it was just hard to see. So that was my biggest complaint. But I guess the match was fine because we couldn't see shit. So but yeah, I agree with you.
Terrible. It was terrible. I did not like it.
Yeah. It escalated who LA Knight was. Bodkins, sorry I took your turn. What did you think of the LA Knight, AJ Styles, and Roman Reigns?
Yeah, so I thought it was kind of quick, personally. Like I didn't think it was, and you were right though, Carlos. I mean, we're talking 4 OGs in the game. Like, I mean, LA Knight is new to the WWE, but he's not new to wrestling. I mean, Eli Drake has been around a long time. AJ Styles, 20 years probably wrestling. And Reigns is, at the peak right now. Randy Orton, like. JB always says, if you're going to build a wrestling superstar from the ground up, he would look like Randy Orton. So I did like it. I did, as far as like I loved how they intertwined. You could see what we're going to see next, right? Like we're going to see Reigns versus Solo, whether that's Elimination Chamber or at Mania. Like we're going to see that happen because, Solo's now cost Orton twice. And then, here's LA Knight going for the pin. AJ Styles stops him. Styles is going for the pin. LA Knight stops him. So you're like, okay, they're going to eventually settle this between them two. Is it going to be at the Elimination Chamber or Mania, right? Like, how's that going to work out? So I did. I enjoyed those facts. I mean, but I think it's predictable, right? Like, that's what I hate. Like going into a match, and I'm like, I already know who the fuck's going to win. We already knew Roman was going to win. Like, you know what I mean? We already know. It wasn't believable. Like, they couldn't convince us any otherwise. Like, we already know Roman's going to carry this title to Mania. That's the only problem I don't like is, like, we already know, And I try to.
Yeah, he's not going to drop it in any of these pay-per-views, right?
Yeah. And that's what sucks. And maybe the internet killed it. So like I said, I was trying to say it kind of off air. I try to view wrestling as like a kid again. Like I try to put my emotions aside, or I try not to read the dirt sheets and things but it's hard because you scroll and you're like, oh, this is an interesting article. And you're like, well, and then you try to view it as a 10-year-old kid again. And but even I don't think as a 10-year-old, I knew that Roman Reigns probably would have won. So, I give the match itself probably like a C+.
Yeah, it was not that good of a match.
I thought Roman was going to stack them all up, but then again, if he stacks them all up, like, what's that do for those guys? You know what I mean? So,
I think Solo Sikoa is going to go off in the Elimination Chamber against Mathematics. Did y'all see those tweets about Solo Sikoa?
Oh yeah. Everybody, he deleted his whole Twitter
account because everybody was making fun of. Because so Rios, for context, in case you didn't know, so Solo Sikoa, I guess there were some old tweets of him, like I guess when he was in either high school or college, whatever it was, and he was just talking about how much it was just like a random tweet, like how much he hates math, like, but he had like tweets about it, like all out, like whole almost threads of it if you think about it. Somebody just, I guess, had spare time and busted him out, and he's like, I hate math, I effing hate math, math sucks, and
I always wondered this though, like imagine that person, that person was trying to go through his old tweets like they do with other athletes, and like, back when he was 12 years old, he called a person gay on Twitter, you know what I mean, we got to crucify him, and then like they go on there like, we can't find anything. You know what? He hates math. Let's retweet these and show everybody how dumb he is. Everybody will be on our side because he's an idiot. He hates math. Who the fuck likes math at 12 years old? In high school archives. You know what I mean? Come on.
Yeah,
I still
yes, me too.
Scott Steiner?
No, Scott. You remember that classic pro he made with math?
You got 8% chance when you got Samoa Joe, when you step to Scott Steiner, and you take that, and that gives you 8% chance plus a 66% chance.
Some guy on YouTube, when I watched that video, some guy on YouTube was like, comment, and he's like, "Hey guys, the match checks out." The match, and he broke it down. He broke it down. I was like, "It checks out." He's actually right.
Scott Steiner.
Actually right. I'm sorry. My favorite one of Scott Steiner. He's fat. That's my favorite. He's fat. When he fat shamed him, I was like, "Jeez." Yeah. Scott Steiner. Awesome. Classic.
Right.
Big Papa Pump, baby.
Big Papa Pump. Yeah. Rios. Were you able to catch this match?
Down, I did not. I figured Roman Reigns was going to win, so I went to get some food.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, what can you
like, I don't keep up with it, but I knew if he was going to win, I was like, it's not worth watching. I'm going to click some food. I was hungry.
Yeah. At that point, it's like Bodkins said, he's not dropping the title anytime soon until like Mania, if anything. And
he's not dropping it at Mania.
I'm just trying to figure out how they're going to work the Rock.
He's dropping it. Yeah, I think Cody's gonna finish his story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
what I'm
each
wondering
time
is,
someone
like,
says the story, take a shot because I've heard that so many times. But seriously, I don't think he's win. I don't think he's dropping it because they're gonna have him beat Hogan's record in September. So I think that's gonna happen. I don't see him winning. I think Cody Rhodes is gonna lose, and then we won't be able to see him again
for a while.
Yeah.
I hope not.
Oh,
and then he'll be my story. My story's still going.
Yeah, the story's still going. The story continues.
The story continues.
And then the guy BL will beat him up for no reason again.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. All right. So I don't think I'm missing any other matches besides the women.
No, it was just the four. And kudos to Triple H though too, since he's kind of taken over. Is the PLEs or pay-per-views, whatever you want to call them, have been shorter, and the matches have been longer and better.
Yeah, the quality.
And
of the matches
he used to do that in NXT. Yes, the NXT. That's what was the best thing about NXT takeovers, right? Like it'd be like NXT. Remember, it was the black and gold NXT takeover days. That was the best brand in wrestling. Like it really was at that time. They had a 3-year run where they were the absolute best in wrestling, and those takeovers were the best pay-per-views. And Hunter had a lot to do with that because it was 4 matches, but we're going to give you the world to get over. You know.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like Hunter had a lot of that creative influence, and even finding these guys, man. Reaching out like. That's the thing that, with the other, forget the other person,
Voldemort.
BKM, with the other overlord or whatever. He, like, it just seemed like it was, towards the end. Like, I can remember a time when you would just kind of like be so frustrated with the same type of thing over and over again, and a lot of gimmicky, like you still have gimmicks. I get it, like the Viking Raiders and all these things. You still have your gimmicks, but now, Vinny was just full of gimmicks and big, strong, whatever dudes, and that was the thing. But now, like what I like about this new regime with H is just like everybody gets a shot. Like everybody gets a shot. And so I like it. There's more opportunity. And so, yeah, like this type of Rumble, I don't think that would have been possible with the old administration, if you want to call it like that.
Yeah.
It's definitely a change.
I enjoy it. It's quicker. It's better. The Rumbles were both better than what they've been. And I see a lot of complaints as far as, especially with the men's online. I don't understand it. Like, I didn't understand the complaints. I thought it was the matches, it flowed fluently. There wasn't, maybe there wasn't like these big surprises, but I don't need to see Kane or somebody like that pop out because that's not believable to me that Kane is going to come in and win the Rumble,
Yeah, it's not. I agree. It's just like, I think now as wrestling fans, at least I feel like us in the same age, like we're not stuck with that old school mentality of like the where it's like, oh, you need this guy. And it was so funny because I was watching like there was like Twitter videos of Hogan like coming back in the Rumble, brother, or whatever. I was like, God, I hope not. I mean, obviously he can't because
maybe I got one more in me.
I got one more in me. And so like, I was watching it with my regular co-host Justin. We were watching it, and my other guys that came over, and so. He came out in the beginning. Hulk Hogan came out in the beginning or whatever, and I was like, God, I hope that's as much Hulk Hogan I get to see today. Like that's what that's it. That's all the Hulk Hogan I want. and it was, which was great. That's why I loved the Rumble. If not, then I think I would have hated it more. But I'm just, Hogan did his thing. It's in the past. Done.
I got to tell you guys something funny. So for my show on the Hardcore Sports Network, it's called Wrestling Punch. So where me and my friend Tyler, we review a pay-per-view from the past or whatever. So we reviewed the 1991 Royal Rumble. And what do you know? Hulk Hogan won.
Of course,
shocking.
that Rumble match was so bad. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I'm like, give me that Royal Rumble again.
Yeah, like Hogan just had to have the control. I respect what he did. I do. I respect what he did for the business and putting it up there. But at the end of the day, dude, I'm just like, when they started giving, like TNA, remember when TNA gave him like creative control and it was just like the downfall?
Oh, yeah.
Of TNA, and WCW did the same thing. And I'm like, come on, did we not learn? Anyway, so yeah, it repeats itself, I guess. All right. So it looks like I covered all the matches. All right, let's go to because I think we all agree that the women's Royal Rumble match was the shit. The men's, what were some ups and downs from the men's Rumble that you guys thought, like things that you really, really enjoyed, and then just what the hell are we doing here kind of a thing? Okay. So
let me start with what the hell? The gender neutral Undertaker. Like, what the hell is that, man?
You're talking about Damian
Priest?
I like Damian Priest.
I'm like, what the hell am I watching? I was just looking at it like, is that supposed to be the Undertaker?
Because we had the man cleavage.
It's part of the Judgment Day.
The man cleavage, right? The man cleavage?
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell?
That dude can wrestle. That dude's legit.
No, I'm just talking about his appearance. He's a great wrestler, bro. Like
41 too.
He's what?
He's 40 years old. He's 41.
He's 40 years old, dude. Yeah. No, it kind of, so his old what was, I can't remember his old, before he became a Damien, was it Punisher Martinez?
Something like that.
And so it was kind of like his aura. He was like a dark, that dark thing or whatever.
He was huge, like, I'm talking like fat. Yeah. Like he was like 300 pounds plus. Yeah.
Let me see if I can find, I'm literally going to type in fat Damien Priest. That dude was huge. Oh, dude. Okay, you ready? I found it.
Oh, God.
All right. Go for it.
I don't know. Are you going to say it's bad Undertaker, Rios?
Holy shit.
He looks like a fat crow from the Crow.
The Crow resurrected too many times. God.
Yeah, it was
wow.
Right there. That's literally 11
years ago.
11 years ago. Wow.
11 years. 11.
Yeah, 11
Coming
years
on 11 years.
Yeah.
I was over here like I almost had a Solo Sikoa moment here.
Yeah, but Carlos, what I liked about the Rumble, how they started it with Jimmy and Jey Uso. That was the best way
that was good.
that they could start it. Like, we got a preview of what we're going to see at WrestleMania, and I'm going to night one. So let's hope that's going to be at night one.
Dude, Jimmy and Jey Uso just coming out 1 and 2.
That was pretty awesome. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Those two guys.
For me, the Jimmy and Jay, but Braun Breaker, I hate his name, first of all.
Yes, he was awesome, man.
I hate the name. Like, you're a Steiner. Can't it just be Braun Steiner or use his real, like Braun Breaker? I hate it. Sounds like a Muppet character or something stupid. Like
it sounds like a name that you just gave him. Like, how can we make you sound like a badass? Braun, break this shit. Breaker.
They typed it into Chat GPT. What's their names?
I mean, it sounds like Brunson Breaker or Brunson Burner, in science class or some shit. Yes. Like, I've hated his name since day one, so it tends me not to like him just because his dumbass name. But I mean, he gets in the ring and just the intensity. You can see the Steiner, his dad's Rick Steiner. And you can just see it, and just, I mean, what he was doing in there. Allegedly, depending on what dirt sheet you read, is like that was his Lesnar spot, and he did exactly what Lesnar was supposed to do. Now, allegedly, who knows? We don't really know, but allegedly. And I mean, give me Braun Breaker, Mr. Steiner over Lesnar at this point, because I want to see the young kid. I want to see him come up and see what he can do on the main roster. He's been in NXT forever. I'm excited to see if sounds like he's going to be on SmackDown, the way they kind of teased that on Raw. But yeah, I thought that was a huge up just to see that young kid in there and to tear it up and eliminate a few people. And he looked really good. To me, that was like one of the bigger bright spots.
Yeah,
I'm gonna agree with that.
I just gotta say this though, really quick.
Yeah,
I just gotta say this. There was no brand split. Can we stop with this brand split, please? I mean, Cody Rhodes is going to be on SmackDown on Friday.
It makes no sense, right?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Like, oh, he's only exclusive to SmackDown. Oh, he's only exclusive to Raw. Then, like 3 weeks later, you see him there.
Yeah.
like what?
Down for me though, and it goes back to the Jimmy J thing. Why didn't one eliminate the other one? What I would have liked to see is Jey Uso eliminate Jimmy, and then Jimmy like cheat and eliminate Jay later. You know what I mean? Like come back out and eliminate his brother. Like I would have liked to seen that. I know we got the hot start with them two in it, but why not eliminate both of them with each other? That's what I would like to see.
Well, like both of them eliminating each other, kind of a thing.
Well, so let's just say Jay's the face, so he eliminates Jimmy the heel.
Yeah.
Jimmy the heel then turns around after he's out because there's no disqualifications. Right. Grabs Jay, throws him over from the outside, and throws Jay over, and then they're both eliminated, and then they like continue to fight on the outside or something. I just felt like they could have been like, you eliminated me from my world title shot, and that's why you eliminated me from my world title, and that we could have got a little bit more of that feud instead of just getting that hot start. But why not eliminate each other? Hey, give me a call, H. I'll help you out.
Yeah,
and then here's another thing.
Story.
That's
here's
good.
Another thing. Jimmy's on Raw.
Triple H hired this man.
On Raw, Jimmy's on SmackDown.
Yeah. No, that would have been a good one because honestly, this is how you could. Yeah, like this is how you can build storylines. Really, this is like a story. Like I think, also, I'm gonna keep using the word allegedly because Bodkins kept using it. Allegedly, like Lesnar was supposed to be eliminated by Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah,
like that within itself. I mean,
so who eliminated Braun?
Say it again.
Who eliminated Braun Breaker?
Who was it?
It wasn't Dom, was it?
I think it was. What I read was everything that Breaker did. That's what Lesnar was supposed to do.
Yeah. So we're going to see Braun and Dominic at Elimination Chamber. It looks like, or at Mania.
No, I don't think so because Braun's going to go to SmackDown and Dom is on Raw allegedly.
Yeah, but there's no brand split. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
there's no brand split. I freaking hate that.
Yeah, that
I love that.
I don't like the whole brand split. Yeah, it was actually Dominic Mysterio that did it. Yeah, so
okay.
Yeah, so it was definitely Brock's spot or whatever. So high for me was Braun, like you said, Bodkins. I thought that he just showed so much initiative. Just he was just his spear is legit. It's a believable spear.
I felt it off screen.
I've seen some dudes do a spear in wrestling that I'm like, come on, that hurt you more than it hurt him.
How many dudes is that going to be their finishing move? Can we? I mean, it seems like 10 wrestlers. That's their fucking.
Have them.
Yeah.
And then I'm not gonna lie. One thing I don't like about Braun is that Goldberg tattoo that he's got going on. Like that to me, I was like, all right, that's
be a man, sir. Get a sleeve, sir.
Get a sleeve, sir. Yeah.
Or get it all the way around. You know what I mean? I don't even think this is all the way around. You know,
if The Rock can change his
probable
to something else, so can you, Braun. But no, I agree. The spear is becoming like the super kick now. You know, it's becoming a move that was like, wow, the spear was amazing, and now it's becoming like anybody can just about use it nowadays. You know?
It's like, oh, you don't have a finisher here, you just use the spear. Like it's like, oh, you can't come up with a finisher.
Super kick, leg drop,
choke slam, choke slam. Who uses the choke slam now?
Yeah. Doesn't Damien do it or no? Damien doesn't do it, right?
Damien does like his is almost like a rock bottom type.
It's a rock bottom type of thing.
Yeah. The South to Heaven or whatever it is.
My low spot in the men's, I want to say I kind of, and this is just me because of the Rumble. I felt like Kofi should have had a little bit more of like the types of what's Kofi gonna do now? Because that had become like a tradition at one point, and then he just got very easily eliminated. I was like, oh, okay, that was kind of a letdown.
I don't know if that was maybe so that happened one year, and I haven't read anything that to say that this year, but I know like a couple years ago that it was a similar situation, and it was just he botched it, like didn't land right or something, like he was supposed to land, and it was a botch, like and I don't know if like that happened this year, because I'm with you, Carlos, like it usually is something that's like, holy shit, like how do you do that? And we didn't get that.
I think they did it in the women's one. I think with Asuka and I can't remember who was the other. She held on to like the apron area or whatever.
I forget her name. I know you. I forgot her name
too off the top of my head. I can't remember, but she did it, and I was like, oh, that's Kofi Kingston-ish, And then I mean, she still fell or whatever, but it was still fun to see that, and something that I've always like looked forward to with Kofi Kingston, and then it was just like easy elimination for him. I was like, oh, well, okay, I guess that's all we got. Yeah. But yeah, to me, that was like a downfall for as far as Rumble is concerned. And also, like, not gonna lie, seeing now I get that he got injured and everything, but seeing CM Punk's performance with Cody, it felt a little flat. Like it really did. It didn't feel. It felt flat. I didn't enjoy it. Punk looked like an old man out there, just struggling to breathe.
I do want to say the fact that Punk got hurt though, in the Drew. I don't know if you guys follow Drew McIntyre on Twitter or Facebook. He is killing it.
He's been trolling, dude.
Killing it. I'm all for heel McIntyre. I was already a fan of his, but here lately, these last like month, where he's just like telling the truth, being a dick to people. Drew, give me that Drew McIntyre every day.
I prayed for moments like this when he the injury report.
Oh man,
like I prayed for moments like this.
If you guys want some good Drew McIntyre content on Twitter, follow Carrie on Twitter. She's part of Hardcore Sports Network. She's the biggest Drew McIntyre fan you will ever meet.
All right.
So her whole Twitter is like Drew McIntyre.
That's so
4,000 viewers of Drew McIntyre fan.
Oh my god, dude, Drew's been killing it. What was it today? He was like, he went to the gym and he pet his cat, and then he's like, and he's like, you can't miss tricep day, and he starts working out the tricep.
Oh shit.
He's been killing it. I mean, killing it.
The last one that I saw complete our title now. He's got to.
He's got to. The last one where I think they posted a picture of WWE posted a picture of CM Punk on Twitter.
Yeah,
like the broken heart, and then he comments with a Michael Jordan iPad, and he's like laughing or whatever. Yeah, he's just trolling, dude.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, McIntyre, like, dude, this is like a new level of. I think I'm enjoying it because it's a new level of McIntyre that I'm not used to.
Same, yeah.
This is developing a good character, just a good character heel. He's becoming a fan favorite. So, Mitch, like you said, that they got to put that title on him now. Like, there's no way.
What you do is you put whether you let Cody win or whatever, or whatever, or he takes on Rollins and he wins the title. You do when Punk comes back. You got to do Drew versus Punk, right? Like at SummerSlam or some shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Mitch, when I mentioned how I felt about Punk's performance on it, you were like really intrigued by it, or you agreed. So what was your take on the CM Punk performance? I know he got injured. Yes, we get that. But what was your take on it?
That's slow. It was just so slow. I'm like, why am I here? They were trying to compete with the Triple H and Undertaker in that Rumble. And then you had the Triple H versus Undertaker in WrestleMania the next 2 years. That's where I felt like they were getting at. But it was so bad it fell flat. Like, I really hated it. Maybe because it was predictable and I knew Cody was going to win it. Yeah. So maybe that had to throw it in a little bit there. But it was just 15 minutes of bleh. Yeah. 15 minutes of bleh. Yeah. And here's another down of the Royal Rumble. People are going to hate me for this. Pat McAfee.
What? No, I hate you already, Mitch. You do not talk about Pat McAfee in any sort of disrespect. I am
no Pat McAfee slander allowed.
No, not on here. Not when I'm around. I was Pat McAfee. I don't care if Pat McAfee murdered his whole family.
Jeez,
I was still root for Pat McAfee.
What? He didn't even know he was supposed to be in there. He didn't even know he was supposed to be in the match.
He's playing the part. He's playing the part.
It's part of the Lesnar thing. It's part of the Lesnar thing.
He's over. He runs away.
There will be no damn Pat McAfee slander as long as I'm around. I am a Pat McAfee truther.
As Dusty Rhodes would say, it's acting, baby. It's acting, baby.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Rhodes.
I got to tell you, you know what that reminded me of, Mitch? Do you remember? I think it was the 2001 Royal Rumble when they had Drew Carey there. Drew Carey showed up at that Royal Rumble, and he did the exact same thing against Kane. It was him just in there being Drew Carey or whatever, and then Kane shows up.
We expected that from Drew. We didn't expect that from McAfee, though.
Would you want Pat to get in there and mix it up? Would that have been better, Mitch? Because he can go. We know he can go in the ring.
Like a move or something. He didn't do anything.
He was wearing cowboy boots.
Yeah, he's wearing cowboy boots.
And a
snakeskin boots and that. Snakeskin boots and that. Like, come on. He's gonna mess up his boots.
Yeah, tell him, Rios. Tell him.
Hey.
You're right, Mitch. People will slander you. I'm part of the McAfee army, okay? I am head leader of the McAfee army.
Hey, people are who's he gonna wrestle at WrestleMania? That's my question. Who is Pat McAfee gonna wrestle?
I don't think Corey, I think I've said this. I would love Corey Graves. Corey's I mean, Corey has always been the last few times Pat's been coming out, it's been slandering Pat. So they got a little history there. They're both from Pittsburgh. They're actually good friends. Yeah. So it'd be. I don't know if Pat will even wrestle at Mania because he's back into commentary. Thank God he's back in commentary. I love him on.
You know, he's good. He's very. I like Corey Graves, but sometimes Corey kind of gets on my nerves a bit.
The dude that they had, that Patrick guy that they just fired. I couldn't
let him go, right? They let him.
Yeah, they fired him. Yeah, I hated him. He was just like, he's gonna get up to the top rope, and oh my god, there's a level.
Like out of breath, JR.
Yes, I'm like, oh my, get this guy out of here. Ever since day one, I hated him.
Yeah, he wasn't good, and that's why they let him go. So I mean, it is what it is.
I love Pat on the best, and it's. I was telling Sam, shout out our resident Sam. On Monday, we were talking about this. I said one of the best. Each should say it. And I said, turn on. It was one of the best WrestleMania matches to me. It was when Pat was on commentary for the Steve-O versus Sami Zayn match. I fucking love that match. Like, it's just the commentary and everything in between that match. It was hysterical. I died. Like, that was put that match on for me every day of the week. I'll laugh.
Oh, agreed. 100%. I agree.
I'm going to say this again. Watch it be Pat McAfee versus Omos.
Oh, dude,
he didn't want that smoke at Mania.
Oh, because that's who was on in the ring, right? When Pat McAfee came in.
Yeah, he's like, did you see that guy? He's 7 foot tall.
It was Omos. It was
Braun Breaker, right?
Yeah, Braun Breaker. Yeah,
Braun Breaker.
He just got to stare at Pat. Yeah.
And that's it. That's them too.
Yeah. They were the only ones that were like up at the time. Everything.
Everyone was on the ground.
There. Cody was also there, but
they were on the ground. They were recovering and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was a good one. All right. Let me see. Okay, so I feel like we kind of covered it. Rios, I'm sorry, I didn't give you. So what was you already said your low moment, right?
No, so Lolo. So when they were basically trying to compliment CM Punk, he's in the best shape of his life. Bro, he's not in the best shape of his life. Come on now, like be a little believable, bro. Like, come on, he's over there huffing and puffing.
He's got a haircut. That's all he did.
He dyed his hair black. It's not as gray anymore. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, come on, man. But that's my only low point. Like, just that. Like, come on, man. Like, I get trying to pump him up, but come on, bro.
How about when they said Braun Breaker is faster than Tyreek Hill?
Oh, I heard that one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, what are you smoking here? Wait, what?
I was like, I get you hype him up, but come on, let's be a little realistic with what we say sometimes, guys. Like that, yeah.
Just a smidgen. Just a smidgen.
Make it believable. It is wrestling after all, but still, this goes out to Sam anyway. Our
resident slump buster.
Yeah, resident slump buster. All right, women's rumble. This is our last one. Women's rumble, guys. I really liked it. I'm sorry. I really thought
too.
that was a great.
Oh, it was good. The way it flowed, it was really
It
good.
had everything. It had surprises. Can I say that I really do like the fact that what I was wondering, because remember last year Mickey James came in and she had the Impact title.
Yes.
And then what I was thinking, I was like, okay, they're probably going to do it again, but this time, you know, it had switched over to TNA now. Will it actually have the TNA logo and everything on that women's belt? And it did, the TNA Knockouts belt, and they did. They actually acknowledged it as TNA, and even when Naomi came out, they even told her like former TNA Knockouts, and I was like, oh wow, so they're really like they're being inclusive with a TNA thing. I think that's cool because that's something Vince wouldn't have done before.
Oh no,
never, never.
Like it was
Never.
WWE only, but now it's like, okay, we're kind of branching out to TNA here, and that kind of opens the door, not to be cliche or based on Triple H's comments at the press conference, right? That kind of opens the door to like maybe some more like storylines and stuff like that.
I think
crossover stories.
Yeah, I think they bought their what's it called when you buy like their Discovery? I think WWE bought the TNA
the rights or something, not the rights, but
like the rights are Discovery. That's going to be I think if I read
library?
that.
Was
Yeah, Mitch. Yeah. I'm not 100% sure, but I thought I read that somewhere that they had bought it. It was like a very, quick thing. But I'm not too sure. But I think that's why. And they are acknowledging, in Hunter, even like you said, Carlos, acknowledged like we're going to be doing some stuff, I think, with TNA.
Sure. So. And that's great because I think it builds up both brands. It really does.
Mm-hmm.
But sorry, Mitch.
No, I was just saying acknowledge.
Oh, acknowledge. Yeah. Acknowledge
That's all I was saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I'm a big fan of that. Because it's funny because like you know how you saw some of the like AEW guys go to like TNA and back and forth. So now I'm wondering if that kind of affects a little bit of it, like now that they have I guess somewhat like a partnership with WWE, if that affects that too. And I mean that kind of puts AEW even more of a bind of what they are kind of right now, And so honestly, I like that. I do like the fact that they're acknowledging TNA, and so that works out for me. The women, it was awesome. My biggest highlight of that one was seeing Jade Cargill just go in and just get that pop, And then when they teased her and Bianca, I was like, oh, I want to see this. I really do want to see this. Even if it was for a good, small little moment, whatever, it was still like a good little tease of, hey, this is what's yet to come. Because I feel like that would be a hell of a match. Or seeing Jade against like Rhea Ripley, who's by God, like one of the best right now, along with Charlotte. I love Charlotte Flair. That Rhea Ripley match with Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania last year, top notch. I really did enjoy that one. But just seeing Jade go in with this talent, the WWE's women's roster is stacked. Nothing can compare to it. It's stacked, and so that's what I'm looking forward to. I love again. Naomi coming back, I thought that was cool, especially in like her, I don't know if it's her hometown, but like her home state, at least Florida. And then getting that pop, people were excited. And then again, Jade for me was my biggest high. The low, it's a thing. It was so good that I can't even think of a low point on it.
I can't either.
I got a couple.
Okay, go for it, Mitch.
All right, so first, my high, Bailey winning it. That was the best choice that they could have done. That was the perfect choice. I actually have a video on that on my channel. So, quick plug. Naomi coming in at number 3. 2. I loved it for Naomi. Perfect spot for her. The TNA champion coming in. That was another good spot. And I have a low. It's just like the placement, right? It's just like I didn't like Liv Morgan at 30. I thought she would be a little lower. I thought like Jade Cargill should be at like 30 or something like that. Have like mix it up a little bit more. And you guys are gonna hate me for this. R-Truth.
Really? He did come out.
Oh, Mitch, you're no fun. You hate all that, and you hated the. I mean, R-Truth is a national treasure, Mitch. I mean, national treasure.
I'm calling it right now. Him and Miz are going to win the tag team title.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. From Judgment Day. Yeah.
I'm calling it right now. Elimination Chamber.
Oh, yeah. That's for sure.
I didn't like that at all. Like Nia Jax, that was cool. I was hoping Randy Orton would come in and do an RKO and leave. That's what I was hoping for, but that didn't happen. Yeah, overall, was this the best women's Royal Rumble match? Top 2, top 3? But I would say that.
They've been very many. I mean, they've only had them for what, 5-6 years now?
Yeah.
I want to say this was one of the top. The top. I can't decide whether 1 or 2, but it's up there, man. It's really high up there for me. It was very entertaining. I was just like, this is one, like with the men's, I got a few beers or whatever, and then this one I was just like, dude, I was locked in.
The men's, I fell asleep. I was trying to watch along with my guys on the Hardcore Sports Network. I'm like, guys, I'm out. I can't watch this. I'm done.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Halfway.
Yeah. Nick, what's your high and your what the hell moment?
All of it was really good. The high, the Jade was good. So I thought even like they mixed in some NXT. I haven't watched NXT in a long time, so some of their females I didn't know, so that was good to introduce. Just because since they went to NXT 2.0, I never really went back to NXT. I just kind of follow a little bit long online, but so I'm not really plugged in on NXT. So it was kind of good to introduce those ladies. So that was a high. Unlike Mitch, I loved R-Truth coming out and thinking it was the men's Royal Rumble. And
that's hilarious.
Yes, exactly. Right. Like
he thought it was a hot tag. In the man, he thought it was a hot tag.
I know. All of it was great, Mitch. That's what I mean. And you're over here hating it. It's entertainment. It's entertainment. I love it.
He's a national treasure.
Yes, he is a national treasure. You're over here hating on two national treasures.
National treasure. National treasure, bro.
No, Women Night belongs to Prince.
I mean, R-Truth, him coming out thinking it was there's women in there, turning to Adam Pearce like, hey, dog, there's women in there. All of them
What
are
happened
women.
to your hair? What happened to your hair? Like, he kept confusing Adam Pearce with, what's his face from SmackDown?
Nick Aldis.
Yeah.
Nick Aldis, yes. And then the hot tag, I forgot about that. I'm glad you mentioned that, Mitch, because
the thing about, hey, guys, sorry, I know Mitch got to go. Hey, Mitch, please follow Mitch at my thing went up. So Mitch Kofsky at Mitch Kofsky. He's part of the Hardcore Sports Network, which you can follow there. Guys, awesome dude. Check it out because he's with Rios in the Pick and Roll podcast every Wednesday, 5 p.m.
Shows on the network on your channel. It's one of the best shows.
Yeah, it's amazing. I've seen it. It's great. So again, Mitch, thanks for joining us, but I appreciate you.
Gorge and Rios, we're 10 away.
10 away.
We're on episode 59, just to let you know. We're on episode
6. Episode 6 has in 10 episodes. That's what we're talking about.
If you guys didn't know. All right,
brother.
Good see you, Mitch.
All right,
I forgot about the hot tag that he was talking about, though. That was, R-Truth I could watch R-Truth just do shit all day.
R-Truth has been nailing, like, the comedy gold has been, since he came back, has been.
It's been just off the charts. I mean, I don't know if it's like we forgot how funny he was when he was away, but he's been killing it.
Yeah.
So there wasn't really a down part for me in the women's. The end was a little like, what was kind of that? Like, you know what I mean? Like Bayley slides out of the way and then kind of kicks Liv Morgan out.
Yeah.
I didn't really like that. I thought that ending was kind of a little sloppy, but good for Bayley. I picked Bayley to win. So I think
Bayley's played her character pretty well. I like
that. So I'm excited to see her kind of go solo. I think she's going to face Io. You mentioned Rhea and Charlotte last WrestleMania. I hope we get Rhea versus Becky this WrestleMania. And I think that'll be, perfect too. So.
What is this? If
I follow, if you can burp.
Okay, well, you got this one. I'll go for it. If you can burp. There you go.
You're welcome.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, at least Rio's got to do something right every once in a while. No, man. Yeah, honestly, that was a good. I really did overall. I think I'd give the Royal Rumble probably this year's Royal Rumble is one of my top ones. So I would say I'd give it a solid A-.
Yeah, I did too. I really liked it.
Yeah,
I didn't understand all the hate online for it.
Yeah.
But then again,
I haven't seen it in about 15 years, so it was pretty good. Because the last one I saw it was not interesting. So I was like, yeah.
So I would say I think to back up your point, Nick. I mean, a lot of, I think people just want to complain.
Yeah, people are gonna bitch about about anything. Like
yeah.
I mean, really,
happy.
It's like that. It's in the MMA world right now. UFC 300 is like this big. So like it's the big thing coming up in April. It's like their big 300 card. And it's like who's headlining it? I'm like, and nobody knows, and everybody's already bitching about what's on the card. But I'm like, this card is fucking pretty damn good. And they haven't made the main event. I'm like, it doesn't matter who the main event is. People are going to bitch about it. Like it could be anybody.
Of course.
And that's kind of how this, how it was on the Rumble. I was like, this is a pretty damn good Royal Rumble. Like, was it the best? Maybe not, but definitely far from the worst.
Definitely. All right. Yeah, definitely. So I would say, A- for me. What would you rate it, Nick?
I'd give it an A minus, probably A- B+ somewhere in there. Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was worth it. Definitely a good one. Rios, what you think?
Yeah, I'll give it an A. It was free for me, so yeah, I'll give it an
A. Yeah. All right. Really quick, I do want to say, I do want to thank you, Nick, for hanging out last minute with me, dude. I appreciate excuse me. I thought that was pretty awesome of you. Please follow Nick Bodkins. Watch his show. He's got at the Bodkins Show, just like it says on the back of his flag, and right here. Nick's one of the top guys I know. He's got some incredible takes. Like this is not trying to kiss your ass. This is legitimately true. It's like you have some great takes. Your shows are very entertaining. He's a Green Bay Packers fan, unfortunately. But no, actually, honestly, we don't really compete. So whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, we don't see you guys.
I'm glad you guys got something going on with Jordan Love.
Me too. Me too.
Honestly, dude, you guys don't miss on quarterbacks. Like since Brett Favre, y'all have not missed. Whatever y'all are doing over there in Wisconsin, y'all gotta over there with Green Bay, we gotta rub it off. But hey, we got CJ, so I can't complain.
Yeah, he's a dude. Dude.
But nonetheless, man, please check out the Bodkins Show at the Bodkins Show. Probably one of the funniest yet weirdest intros I've ever. Dude, okay, let me ask you this: what is up with the intro? I was like, I remember once your intro for this show. Like, I always wanted to ask. I've never asked, but it's always been there.
Same here.
What the hell with that intro?
So I didn't do anything for the intro. Like I didn't put that together. Actually, my best friend put that together for me. He was like, "Hey, I'm gonna do up the intro." So like he just cut up clips of me on the show. You know what I mean? So like that's kind of how it was, and. Okay. So like I didn't perform any of those. Like that was just me being live on air, and he just went back and cut up a different bunch of clips and like that he thought were pretty funny. And so like when you watch it, that's kind of what you're getting to, and so I appreciate it. You guys, I think you guys are the greatest too. Like I really do. I don't want to toot my own horn as well, but I appreciate it. I just I try to be. I just try to be myself, you know what I mean?
No, you do a hell of a job at it, dude. You guys, Sam, by the way,
Sam,
Scott, which is hilarious. How do you call it?
Johnny and Tanner, all the guys at the LTS show.
Like y'all, that tandem y'all got going on over there at LTS is amazing. And all again, we did a little show for. Not a show, but we did like a little small episode for our great friend Dan, who got rest in peace. And so that when I watched that, I was like, dude, this is a good core. And like if you saw it, and I know that it was a bit emotional. Like when we saw it, I remember that was one of my favorite clips because it was done this summer, and that's when I was doing shows with Dan, and
yeah.
How do you call it? And because I was on vacation, right? So I was just doing random shows. I was doing lunches with Dan. It was so fun. And then I started traveling and, to Mexico, Argentina, and all these things. And we kind of lost track of that a little bit. And that's one of those things that, in the back of my mind, like I wish I would have done more. But when I chose that particular clip to do the tribute show, like it was just so funny because it was the core of everything. I think the only one that was missing was Tanner, and that's about it. Because Alan had talked about, I think they were talking about DeAndre Hopkins going to like the Jets or whatever. Right?
Yeah.
It was all speculation at that time, and so Alan had commented on it, and then Dan said like because I think he talked about is it a luxury or a necessity, and then Dan clap back at Allen saying, like, I can't believe the Cowboys fan is talking about luxury or whatever, right? And has the nerve to talk about luxury, excuse me. And so that to me was like, hey, that was good, Dan. Just like right at him. And then as we're doing that, and as I'm thinking, Dan, Sam's talking about whatever, about you, about whatever, and then you talk about his mom as you normally do.
His sweet mom.
It's a sweet mother. And then you talked about, he's like, and she makes a nice potato salad. And I was like, oh God. In my mind, I'm thinking you just left yourself wide open.
Open the door wide open.
Just for Nick to come in. And sure enough, I see it in like Randy Ma, whatever. I see the comment, and I made the mistake because I was trying to not click on it. And so I was trying to click the comment under, and I accidentally click on your comment, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Yeah. And then like it's shown on here as it's happening, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I click. Rios busts out laughing, uncontrollably, and I was like, "I'm sorry." So I was trying to move it, and then like for some reason Scott Cove is talking like he's messaging us live. Like he would be texting us, "Hey guys, I sent you a message. Please check it out." Or like, dude, we're doing a show. He's like old man texting in the middle of the show, like, "Hey guys, I sent you a message, Nick and whatever." I'm like,
yeah.
Random conversation, like old man searches, like types in Google into Twitter posts or whatever. How does chicken work? Whatever. So that's what Scott Cope's message reminded me of in there. And then Sam replied with, "Oh my god!" And then we just
poor Samuel.
Yeah, and I told Dan I blamed him for bringing all of
bring it all together. Yeah,
and he replies back with, "I don't know what kind of drug I was on when I put that together, but dude, just anyway.
It was." Yeah, I mean that's what we talked about the other day on our show too. Man, he was just so witty, man. Like for somebody that's like confined to like a, I just imagine like a wheelchair or whatever, in my head, and just like he's so witty and just like quick, and he, could give it to you, and back and forth. The banter was great. So
great, man. It's great, but yeah, man. Hey, big shout out to Dan. I know his birthday just passed on the 16th, but dude, that guy, man, that guy right there, for real.
Yeah,
gives up to my boy Dan. Yeah. Cheers, y'all. All right. That's going to be our show. Bodkins, thank you so much. Don't go just yet. Let me just end the show. Again, guys, this is always still pertains no matter what. So please don't forget to follow Nick Bodkins at The Bodkins Show. You won't regret it, I promise you. All right, guys.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Not a problem. Again, don't go just yet. Let me end the show. But that's gonna be it. Rios, you got anything? Oh, we got Friday. We're watching Rios and I are watching the Rockets game. Since Rios decided to watch the Royal Rumble and he hasn't done it in years, I'm gonna watch the Rockets game with Rios, and we're gonna air it and see how that goes.
Yeah, I would definitely prefer to watch wrestling over the Rockets. Just saying.
Rios, what are you?
Wow.
Anything?
We lost tonight, so I can't say shit.
The NBA is tough to watch, and I mean, it's not even just the Rockets. The Rockets are bad, but the NBA is tough to watch, like regular, especially right now in the regular season. Like,
man, if you grew up in the 80s and 90s, it's not the same, man. There's like zero defense, and it's not the same.
That guy scored 70 every night. 60.
In my mind, I'm still hoping to see a Ron Artest fight when he fought half the arena. To me, that was top tier entertainment. You can't. Those people got their money's worth, even though they got punched.
Right. Yeah. We used to be a proper country.
We were spoiled. All right, gentlemen. All right, we'll see y'all later. Thank you guys for joining us again. Peace out, y'all.
And I don't know what you thought, but right here, dog, we gon' rep the squad. Got HU, I might fit it, then on my jersey, you gon' know where I'm from. This Houston, Texas, still rolling heavy.